On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO! Oh, my voice cracked there a little bit. Anyway, we're going to talk about Arctic Summer World. It's happening right now. Banners now, more banners to come. Also, JP does stuff. More ordeal call. Missions. Are you a bad enough dude to do them? And many more things. Hello. We are your hosts. This voice is Omega. The other voice you haven't heard yet is Lucky. I don't have an intro. We're starting a little late and I'm sweepy. I'm eepy, okay? As the kids say.
We probably shouldn't say that. It sounds weird.
Let me know how cringe it is that I said EP below in the comments. That'll drive engagement.
I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Arctic Aspirations. And while we here at Student Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EN version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should brush up on their management styles.
Indeed. Bet you didn't think there'd be quite so much business management in this upcoming event. Unfortunately, that is... Sorry, someone in the patron chat, which I will shout out shortly, said they watched so many VTubers they lost their cringeability. I think that is where all my cringe slang comes from, is watching VTuber clips, and or people reacting to VTuber clips. Anyway, speaking of our patron channel on Discord, I would like to shout out that this episode is brought to you by our lovely patrons, like Adam DeHart, Blacklist OG, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, JDV9000, Just Faye, Kaiser, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Rise of Kenshi, Rogue Robin, Charvor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do, must use more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early, and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support, as always.
Thank you.
And I did say get episodes early. I think I slurred that one a little, but it was definitely episodes. It probably sounded like Actually, no, that's way too much sh in there. It was just like s. I'll stop hissing like a snake. I'm not even sure if some of those sounds will make it into the final edit. They might get cut out by noise reduction. Anyway, that means that after our lovely intro and other time, our first thing to do is to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
先輩、起きてください。
Mash is always bright and energetic, unlike us. Anyway, it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, Register for Proteops. Okay, I should probably stop trying to be really loud. I think my voice keeps cracking when I do that. We're getting weird. We're getting wiggly. Anyway, I don't have any good pro tips for you this week. The simple pro tip is I want to remind you, don't forget to do your renovation quests. Spend ice blocks, renovate. You'll get extra profit. It's good for you. It's important. Don't forget to do it. You can get, like, EXPs and QPs. You need those, right? I know I need those. QP. Okay, that means the next segment in the show notes, because we do this in an order which is usually static, is regular achievement topic. Says, as you all know, chat, Lucky hasn't gone in yet. The Ibuki banner hasn't started yet.
Nope.
So he hasn't gone in. That means you gotta deal with me. And hopefully everybody got your final bets in when I posted the Wanted Lady Avalon video, which seemed to have gone over very well. So look forward to another, hopefully miniature Summer Ibuki video shortly for Wanted to get your good luck charm in. But it's time to calculate your final bets. The answer is how many Lady Avalons did I get while rolling for Summer Gareth? The answer is none, because I got Summer Gareth in the first 10 spin after spending 17 tickets. So it's not like perfect, but pretty good. My first actual 10 spin of Quartz got a Gareth. That's nice. Do have, I think, one copy of the 4 and the 5-star CE. So doing okay. Probably want to go back in for more NP levels, but I'm gonna wait until after the Ibuki banner, because we'll fire in on that for Summer Ibuki first, and then if depending on how well that goes, we can double it back for more Gareth NP levels. But yeah, it was relatively painless. I was incredibly shocked. Don't know what this means. I guess it's just the power of having extra St. Quartz at your back. I think I did like one extra 10 spin just to see more CEs and stuff, and I ended with... It's not correct anymore because it's been a couple days and I've logged in, but when I stopped rolling on that banner, I had 777 St. Quartz, which is, very fun. No Smile Protect yet. It's only been a couple of days. I rolled at like 4:30 in the morning. Hope everybody caught that you did have extra long maintenance there. Not sure why we had to take the extra 30. Servers have been a little cooked lately. Luckily, they're apparently not running whatever that thing is that the security software, whose name I forget, that we'll talk about later probably. Was that Lucky?
CrowdStrike?
Yes, thank you, CrowdStrike. Yeah, I'm going to guess FGO servers are not running on that because they're still up. Anyway, yeah, that's me. No Smile Protect. Need more EXPs.
It's not really much of a wrecker, but I did want to say I spent 10 tickets, and I was able to get the 5-star CE, which was the very important one, I'm gonna say, for reasons.
Nice. Well, get it early, because technically when we start Ibuki's banner, they're both sets of the 5-star CE, so the chances will be split. This means that at this current given time, there is no evil. We've defeated all the evil in the world. Good job. I scratch my nose. Which means... next segment. I mean, it's anything running on Windows architecture, so it could be servers. I saw a picture of a blue-screened MRI machine, so you can run Windows on a lot of things. And it's not very version-dependent, I don't think. Anyway, did you finish your master missions? The answer? Probably. But only you can know for sure. To complete your master missions this week, you need to defeat 15 female enemies, defeat 3 each of Rider Saber, Archer Caster, and Lancer Assassin Berserker Servants specifically. And then 2 more missions, 1 to get 2 skill gem or statues. That's pieces or monuments. I don't know why they say the long form of that. Well, I guess piece is short, but monument's very long. And then 4 skill gem or statue drops. So, do the event, as we say. I'm pretty sure you can knock all of these out with your current free quests. And if not, well, maybe the next set. But that means it's time for scattergrams. The news will go by fairly quickly. First, JP. Got a couple of JP things. We've got more Summer Clear bonus campaign bonus banners. Basically, we're continuing to slow roll you into Anniversary and Summer with more Summer banners. This batch number 2 is going to start since it started already, on the 18th, go until the 28th of July. One banner is Summer Abigail Murasaki Bryn. The other banner is Summer Jean Ibaraki Ushi. So basically reruns of how their banners were when they debuted. And that's that. Simple, straightforward. I strongly suspect they may tuck another couple of summer banners in here, just for the extra pizzazz. They also have the 7th part of the Ordeal Call campaign. Not an actual new chapter yet, but the campaign starts from the 17th, goes until the 4th of August. There's a new free quest, there's a new challenge quest. The challenge quest, I believe, is very interesting, because there's an enemy with like 5 million HP, but they did a funny thing with the class advantage damage. That slightly rhymes, and I didn't plan for it to do that. But yeah, apparently they have a special trait quality which says that they take 5 times damage instead of 2 times from normal class advantage, so it kind of incentivizing you not to just use, generic berserkers, but to actually match up your class advantage normally and get a lot of extra damage. So that's a curious way to handle like very large HP pools. It's very interesting. But yeah, to complement, the free and challenge quests, there's a boatload of permanent and limited time master missions. So keep doing your, Bleached Earth stuff. I don't know for sure, because I don't know the exact details. I assume it would have to be, if I'm guessing, it's probably formulated so that if you would do X2 damage, it becomes X5. So classes that do, the 1.5 work. And if it doesn't work like that, because I don't know if we remember if Berserkers are 2X all around, then it's probably coded per class, so I don't actually know how it interacts with extra classes. We've got a couple years to work in it, but if somebody knows, they can let me know in the comments. Videos, they be doing stuff. Yeah, that's all I know about that one. And then, of course, in NA, you already know, because it's happening right now, and we'll talk more about what we've seen so far later. But Arctic Summer World, Chaldea's Magical Summer Theme Park, has started in the EN version, started the 18th, going until the 7th of August. Basically, like we drew it up in the pregame last week. Don't think there's any, crazy extra quality of life or surprise updates or anything. I did actually appreciate this, though, because we have, quite a few banners. When you weren't looking. Sorry, that was a patron comment. They'll get it. But this is something I appreciated from the Chaldea Broadcasting Station. Since the, the banners are basically already known ahead of time thanks to the power of future vision, of clairvoyance. They did actually post a little timeline GIF, little roadmap, little image showing everything, which is not uncommon. Like most summon banner campaigns have these little images, but for stuff like Summer, when normally JP is hiding stuff, you don't get to see all the schedule right away. They showed it all in NA, so it should be, start with Lady Avalon and Gareth, and also the boys, Benna, right away. Then on Sunday night, it should be Ibuki Erise, and then on Wednesday night, exactly a week after we started, it should be Scotty Wu. Everybody got that? You following along? You penciling in on your calendars? I know some of you are. Though it is actually funny, as just in a side comment about general community stuff, I saw a lot of people posting images and GIFs in preparation of the new event, a lot of which, talking about when it would be dropping, 2 days left with Ibuki and stuff, and there were several people in the Twitter comments being like, actually, you're gonna have to wait 3 more days or 4 more days. Her banner is not first. But that should let you know the temperature of the general audience. Speaking of general audience temperature, this is news, though I think there's some aside commentary on it, and I also think there are at least some references to Mailbag. I don't know if we actually got any questions about it. I haven't skimmed every intra. But it was announced today that there is some kind of Fate Stay Night Honkai Star Rail collab coming. When? I don't fucking know. But some people were actually already cottoned on that there might be a little something happening, because there was a recent round of interviews where one of the head writers for Star Rail and Nasu talked together and talked about stuff they like, working on some stuff. So also, I can't tell if you guys are joking or not. If it's actually Q3 next year, that's really, wow, that's a fucking really ahead of time announcement. Why would they curse? Well, I did say it was Fate Stay Night. Does it have the full UBW logo below it? Okay, I've seen the images, but I have not zoomed in. And I guess I guess we're building up hype, but man, why would you curse us with this knowledge a fucking year ahead of time? It just means we're gonna have to deal with the internet being the way it is for a whole year. But at least they know ahead of time. I wonder if that means that HSR has a similar time frame to FGO collabs, where they take a year to set up. Anyway, for sure, we don't have any details about what is actually going to happen in the collab, because it is a hecking year away. Arguably over a year away, because we're still in, I think... Actually, no. We'd be past. We're just now Q3. Depending on where you actually start your quarters. That's different for some people. Anyway, I'm not going to babble too much about it. We got a big drop. I will say it's immediately caused some very interesting discourse. It's like when Nintendo announces a Smash game, we're all just over it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I guess I'll say, my short version of a statement, as I'm very brain gooped. I'm sleepy. I won't say it the other way. There seems to have immediately risen up a lot of the normal stuff. Hey, if you've somehow happened to find this podcast, just randomly while you're looking for Fate stuff, you might actually. It's not specifically a Fate Grand Order collab, so maybe not, but it might happen. There's some crossover there. Shocking, I know. But I've already seen many points of discussion about the Hoyoverse. I'm developing a strange accent at 10 o'clock at night. Anyway, the MiHoYo guys. I know their actual name is now Hoyoverse, but saying MiHoYo is easier for me somehow right now. Already talking about the watch order debate and stuff like that. Some of the old Fate heads are already preemptively weighing into the watch order debate. Hey, guess what? If you have a whole fucking year to wait, the ideal way to start Fate Stay Night with no confusion will be the Fate Stay Night Remastered, which is probably coming out next month. They just said coming soon. They're going to re-release the VN in 6 different languages, and that will be the ideal starting point. You'll just be able to experience Fate Stay Night as it was in 2006, I think is when they released the PS2 version, which this is based off of. I double check my days. I mean, yes, they don't read, but they don't have anything better to do for a year, and they play Honkai Star Rail. So I'm pretty sure that has to involve reading. I've been playing Zenless. There must be reading. Not every cutscene is dialogue. I don't know. They could be like some of the people playing Final Fantasy XIV, and they just skip unvoiced cutscenes. Sorry, I made myself chuckle. They'll skip cutscenes, even the unvoiced ones. But yeah, they if you're new, if you are one of our long-time running Fate guys, I think the best way to say it is growing your audience is usually good, getting more people in. Hoyoverse games make a lot of money, so sucking that back in to Fate maybe could work. Bring them in, that's nice. Grow our audience. Suck out their money so that we can afford anime adaptations that are super high budget. Sorry, the Discord came up with a lot of different versions of this analogy, and I'm trying to find a good one. But trying to think of the best one. I liked one of the ones you said. It was like keep your gate half open, but keep an eye out.
Oh yeah, no, no. The one I said was keep the gate half open, but have security guard giving everyone the stink eye.
Yeah. Gate open one half of the gate and put a bouncer there. If the people aren't cool enough to come in, don't let them in. But let them think they can get it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, it's actually, yeah, this is actually very surprising to me. I don't know how you've done this, Axe. You said a single short sentence of less than 10 words that's very direct. Don't bar the doors, but keep it manned. That's true, yes. Because, like I said, there's a lot of discussion about gatekeeping. Some people are extremely pro gatekeeping. Oh, you gotta keep the normies out. They'll ruin your hobby. And I think it was last week. I don't know what time it is, man. But we talked about, do you need to conform to your audience or what? Our general opinion is usually, keep with your artistic integrity, but, be aware of your audience. There's a lot of discussion about gatekeeping. In general, you want to be careful about, keeping your media or your fandom too niche, because you can get, really insular, and that's a great way for your fandom to eat itself. And also, you can be too insular and your thing can fail because, 12 of you are watching it in a Discord. But also, it's so funny. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of clips of VTubers and streamers reacting to VTubers and stuff, and it's a known quantity in streaming that one of the most dangerous things in the world is you get a new first-time chatter who just pops in and is like, "Hey, can I ask a question?" And you gotta be careful about that, because there's decent odds that guy is not acting in good faith or is just some rando who doesn't know any better who stumbled in and is gonna ask you some out-of-pocket shit. So be cool. But also be cool. And like I said, if you are, a Hoyoverse newbie, you've only just dipped your toes into Fate, check out Fate Stay Night when it comes out. I heartily recommend the UFO Table adaptations. You can start with Fate Zero or Unlimited Blade Works. It doesn't actually matter. And if you want something that's more self-contained, APOC is a great anime as well. That has blonde people in large fields in it. Maybe you'll recognize them from Genshin. And, it's one of those things that, I understand that I think, in general, our audience skews a little bit older. I should double-check our demographics, but I'm pretty sure it's more on that end. And obviously, a lot of people know that Hoyoverse games do skew a little younger in their audience. Just realize, if you're coming in and you're trying to be cool and respectful, you may blunder into some, you may run into some old fandom landmines. If you see some people kind of coming in, you're probably going to see, if you're on the Fate side of this, you're probably going to see new people, some of whom are not acting in good faith, stepping on some old fandom landmines. This is also Omega's time to remind you that the block button exists. I've used it several times today already. And just, you can curate your experience, they can curate their experience, and it's better that way. Honestly, I know that, in general, I think specifically Genshin does have kind of a, reputation as being, kind of toxic and yelly. They're very loud. But also I know for a fact that, the Hoyoverse fandoms do not necessarily get along with each other. So, it should be how it be. But not everybody's going to be like that, and you always have that opportunity to grab a new audience member, introduce some new people, and grow your base. You never know. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's almost surely related to, like I said, that interview a while back where they had that meeting of the minds. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens exactly. There was, the crossover with Horizon Zero Dawn for Genshin several years ago now, a couple, where Aloy is a technically a playable Genshin character, which is very funny. So, they're not new to crossovers. I'll have to see what's up. Oh yeah, I mean everybody has their loudies. I mean I do want to say, this is a total aside. I do want to say though that there's a specific label that gets hung on Fate as a fandom and as a franchise about just being, Coomer pilled. Fate does have a lot of porn. There's a lot of the specifically Japanese doujinshi industry in Fate, and obviously FGO is the latest is like that. But like horniness is universal, and I gotta say, I just my subjective experience, like people are way. Oh, sorry, had to cough. Clear the throat. But people are like way more horny brain energy about like MiHoYo games, like on Twitter. The amount of art run I have seen for currently Zenless characters, but like it's previously, sometimes on Honkai or Genshin, like God, fucking the lightning lady, whose name I forget right now because it's been several years, like everywhere on Twitter. Like it's I think just very different communities. Yeah, is she just riding Shogun? I thought so. Yeah. The one from Genshin. Yeah. I was like, is she just riding? It's a very normal name, but yeah, no, like fucking everywhere, yeah, exactly that. Thank you, Tyrano. So yeah, like I said, pot, kettle, black, glass houses, all that shit. But like I said, I feel like people are like just as jazzed about Hoyoverse designs as Fate. It's just they appear in different circles, and I don't, man, I mean, I know why, but also I don't know why. It's one of those things, right? Where like intellectually I know why the label does get hung on Fate, because yes, the series did start as an eroge, but also like Nasu didn't really want it to be an eroge. Like I feel like Type Moon has kind of been trying to get away from that specific run of Fate for like a long time, as evidenced by the fact that like they keep releasing Fate Stay Night with all the porn dropped out of it. Now they're just sorry. The patron chat is just talking about stuff, and I'm just like, yes, you're saying words. Yes, I understand. He didn't understand.
This is why I try not to be part of fandoms mostly.
I'm just sitting and nodding. They're talking about stuff. We're just here to vibe. Well, that aside, I probably rambled more because of my sleeper brain than I wanted to. But it was big news. It was fucking busting up earlier. I think at several points our Discord had some long taco about it. So. For those not on our Discord, and also those on our Discord who may not have seen some of the conversations, we saw. Luck and I were both parts of different parts of that discussion. It's out there. We understand. We'll see what happens. I think probably the most interesting thing is to wonder if, would FGO finally break its streak and do the collab like the other way? I'm going to assume no, because Nasu and I think several of the other Type Moon writers have pretty strongly stuck to their guns that, like, doing non-Nasuverse, non-Type Moon crossovers is too weird. But it is, an open-ended question to see, like, would there be some kind of reciprocation? I suspect they'll probably just be like, yeah, maybe like a celebratory CE and then, like, some Saint Quartz, but probably not, like, a crossover event or, like, banner characters or anything. I admit that would probably be a really good way to get the crossover fans in, but, it's not always about pure marketing here at FGO. The Nasu and the other Type Moon stable of writers do still seem pretty hands-on at points. And they say, well, the vibes don't work, they don't work. Though that, the April Fool's fake collab videos we do see from the fan base at times are definitely, like, very cool and also make me sad they don't happen. Like, was there a Gundam one a couple years ago, I think?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he says. It was probably, like, 4 years ago. I don't fucking know, man. We played this game for 7 years. Yeah. FGO likes to just cross over with itself because they can keep everything, on the level. They have room for weirder shit with, like, the servant verse. Don't ask, like, I still don't know if we've ever established how that one works. We just, we said it, it happens. But all the characters still line up, and I think it keeps everything, on the ball. So yeah, I don't expect the collab will come the other way, but, we'll see what happens. Like I said, might get a commemorative CE. Will be very interesting if they do go that route, because obviously HSR is out globally. That's the phrase I'm looking for. So it'll be interesting to see if, like, the collab comes in about a year. Will it hit both FGO, JP, and EN at the same time, kind of stuff? Answer? Probably. Maybe sorry, the wheeze escaped me. Maybe they'll do a little. Sounds like they probably could do a little cross promo at the old FGO Fez. That's still ticking, by the way. We're waiting on them dates. Yeah, that'll be number 10. What was the phrase? Oh, I was going to talk about that's right, the costumes. We've got some more reveals. They're looking good. Showed Musashi. That's great. Bedivere also looking cool. Terrible shame we could only pick 2, as always. Anyway, chat definitely did distract me. I've definitely babbled on. Well, I don't want to say too long. We've just crossed like the 30-minute mark in Skelograms and all the stuff that came before it, but probably a little longer than I planned to talk. Maybe like 5 minutes. That means it's time to end the Skelogram segment and begin the mailbag segment.
So, with that, it is time for this week's Let's Talk FGO mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week we have, let's give one last refresh here just to see if anyone snuck in the back. No one did. But we have 7 lovely comments to get through, and we'll get through them all starting right meow. Our first one comes from Gahulian God, who says, "This was a gut reaction I had to the prologue of Arctic Summer event, but a character that would made a good summer servant here could have been Sutanai. She could have pulled a summer melt and have her summer form emulate aspects of Freya over Sutanai, giving her connection to Summer Skadi. She could still have Shira the polar bear fitting in the Arctic Circle, and Freya's possession would be Skemblandir, the most famous Norse ship, made at the same time as Mjolnir, that had the added ability to morph into pocket-size form.
The boat is pretty cool.
I thought that was given to her brother.
I'm pretty sure Freya can borrow anything she needs from Freya. But yes, no, it's Freya's boat.
P.S. I only just realized at the release of this event to realize that Summer Buki is a 5-star, not a 4-star. Yes, I'm sorry,
twice.
you cannot. Yes, you cannot contain Summer Buki to a mere 4 stars.
Also, yes, no, she's 5-star. Did you forget? Well, it is unusual. I shouldn't say did you forget, but also, did you forget? You know, we've got 3 separate banners, 3 separate 5-stars. Well, crazy. I mean, also, yeah, I guess Sutanai could have been good thematically, but also we do already have Summer Ilya. A Summer Sutanai would probably be very similar, though. I don't know. We could make up 3 new costume designs. What do you guys think the banner is? Are we thinking Enisei is the 5-star? What's going on here? Sorry, somebody in Patreon chat was also like, why did I think she was 4 stars? I don't know why you thought she was 4 stars. What? Huh? I'm confused. Anyway, good PS. All right, mailbag.
So, moving on. This next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, "Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week. Just sending good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. And wishing you well. Keep up the great work."
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Same to you. Thank you very much. So, moving on. This next one comes from the Tyrant King, ready to trailblaze a news path with Saber and Rin and HSR. Question: Hey guys, since it seems that the new HSR UBW collab will be released around FGO's 10th anniversary, do you think that the Type Moon team has plans to announce more stuff for next year? If so, what do you think they'll announce? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah 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 wah. And hope you're having a great evening. I really didn't mention it personally. I don't think Type Moons are going to do anything for Honkai Star Rail. They're going to let them have the characters, and that's it. We're probably not getting any reverse collabs because Fate Stay Night has collabed with other things. Like, it's been in other games. It's been on. It's had its own special card decks and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't have to be both ways. So no, I think they just are renting out the characters for funsies.
And also, it's important to bring up that it is, as specified, a Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collab. It is not specifically anything to do with FGO. In general, does Type Moon have plans to announce more stuff? I mean, yes. I think it was today I saw some messages that they're working with Kadokawa on something, and Type Moon's going to make an anime-related announcement sometime soon. Not sure exactly what project that will be, but yes, I think there are plans for other projects to be announced. But yeah, Fate Stay Night is very long running and popular, and has a lot of collabs as its own brand, separate from FGO.
So let's move on. Next one comes up is a master taking his funny princess on a vacation to the Arctic while Lady Avalon teases the hell out of Summer Artoria. Hey guys, wishing you luck on your summer pools with MP3 Archuid and Summer Merlin with 700 St. Quartz to spare. I'm raring to go for the event. Got a 2 for real done for you both. One was the original question, while the other was a bonus given. recent announcements. Given the info we have currently, what is the difference between types and archetypes? Is one the prerequisite for the other, or simply a difference in title? And bonus question, any thoughts and feelings on the announced collab between Honkai Star Rail and UBW? As a fan of both, I am beyond hyped to see what happens. Sorry if the post is a bit long, I'm just really pumped for the future. Sending you good vibes, wah 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 wah. And may the gacha gods bless us all.
Oh, don't you worry, I don't. Nowhere near the longest content we've got. So, I mean, it's not sourced, but at least according to the Type Moon Wiki, the phrase archetype is linked to ultimate ones, which are also called types, but the exact connection isn't discussed. Archetype, I said, I think in the Archetype Earth video, is supposed to be like what mages use to describe the concept of the brain of a planet, you know, the singular ultimate life form. So we don't actually know exactly how they're related. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out more about this when we get to Lost Belt 7 this year in December, late December. But I would assume that they're kind of like different names for the same thing, coming at it from a different way. Like calling a type or an ultimate one is like, I think it first comes from notes, so it's, you know, related to like their power level, their combat potential, that kind of stuff. Whereas the archetype thing is more of like, you know, mages trying to classify magical stuff. I don't even know if you call some of the archetype stuff magical. Nasu was weird, okay, guys? Nasu had to write out a really long explanation for how the fuck vampires come from the moon, because vampires are from the moon. He's a magical moon man with vampire powers. Why? I don't know. Just cause we like the moon. It's cool. As for, you know, second question, honestly, I don't really have any feelings on the collab. Like you said, we're probably not going to see it on the FGO end at all, so I don't currently play Star Rail. I guess I got a year to get started if I felt like it, but I'm doing stuff.
No. If anything, I am slowly becoming less and less enamored with Honkai Star Rail and Mihoyo and Ameris, because, as always, like, people are fucking animals. Like, we'll talk a little bit about this when we get to what's up. But I have just finished uninstalling Triple Z.
Ooh, okay, he's going all the way.
Yeah, no, it's all like the whole protagonist discussion. Like, yeah, no, I'm fucking done. So, like,
he's not hype.
I am not. I am no longer hype. It's oh god. We'll talk about it later. But yeah. I am very sad right now.
R.I.P. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff.
So let's move on. This next one comes from Power Level Orca Achieved. This one says, "Howdy, Lucky Omega. Hope your Arctic summer is going well. This week in Discord, someone brought up how it'd be cool if FGO did costumes based on some CE arts. And many in the server, including myself, mentioned plenty of redrop CEs we want for costumes. I want to pass the question to you both. What costumes would you want based on outfits from CEs? P.S. I consider myself a dolphin for FGO, but I did go full Orca for 13 copies of Gareth and 39 rolls, 1,170 Saint Court. And Gareth was kind, but Lady Avalon was pity for me. I do hope your rolls went well. And if you continue any summer rolling, hope they also go well. Omega, and for Lucky, whose banner of choice soon approaches, I wish you plenty of luck to get a quick MP to Ibuki. In fact, I hope you get a double Ibuki roll. Well, thank you. If I do get one, I will credit it to you, but you will not get my second Ibuki. That one's mine.
Yeah, damn, that's some rolling. Oh, glad you did eventually get what you want.
I mean, honestly, if I wanted costumes, I would want the anniversary CE costumes, just all of them.
No, all those arts are really good. Sorry, I'm just like, my brain is just like flashbulb memorying me through a lot of them. I'm like, yeah, there was Arcade Mordred, that was pretty cool, and then I thought of the hotel attendant Ereshkigal with her little shaky hands.
Do you remember frickin' Carmilla and her Dobermans?
Yes. Oh god, it's still like the sexiest Carmilla. She's just, out in the town. And there's lots of funny ones, and fun ones. Hell, in general, just a costume for Lancer Artoria Alter would be cool as well. But yeah, she had like her biker one. There's Echan, getting coffee. A lot of the common ones are good. The street common that got posted in our Discord just now, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, nice hat. There's a lot of good ones there. And obviously, once again, even more that are coming out this year. Like we mentioned earlier, some of the ones they've shown off, that Bedivere one is pretty cool, and Musashi looking great with her, like, weird cyber samurai look. I mean, a lot of people make sprite edits. There's a lot of good sprite editors out there. Thumbs up to them. Yeah, Anniversary Cs. There's a lot of them, too, so there's a lot of stuff to work from. I think, technically, aren't some costumes based on some of those CEs already? Like, isn't that what one of, like, Arjuna and Izo's costumes is from? Oh, yeah, and actually, isn't the, they did, like, 5 of them. Isn't, Bunyan, regular Bunyan, have the bunny costume from it? That was from Anniversary CE as well, right? Chat? Lose my mind?
I'm losing my mind.
I phrase it like a question. I frequently lose my mind. Am I losing my mind currently about this? I think not. So yeah, I think they did like 5 of those. Hey, oh yeah, Writer Da Vinci. Yeah, I think that was one as well. Hey, guess what? FGO. You did 5 out of like 30 CEs you've done every year for like 5 years. Got to catch up on the costumes, man.
So let us move on.
Thumbs up.
Sorry, Lucky's thinking.
It's okay. You said so, and I just like did a double thumbs up like that means anything. Nobody can see me.
Nobody can see us. But this next one comes from Agent 418, who says, "Hello, Lucky Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all." They say, "P.S. Thank you, Starwell, for giving me a year to save for the collab, because that's how long it's gonna take you to fucking save up enough currency." And this next one comes from Pork Bajir Dave. Is that a motherfucking Animorph reference? I remember Animorphs.
It might be.
My original plan was to roll 500 Saint Quartz on each Barner, but seeing as Lady Avalon took around 900 Saint Quartz, that's not happening anymore. Hope you guys are having better luck than me. Well, considering I've only spent 10 tickets and I've gotten 1 CE, I'm doing great. I got 1,600 quartz in my back pockets, waiting to get me.
Pretty good space.
No, so we will see.
Well, let's hope it's painless. I know you've been saving a while. Sometimes it takes some extra wrangling. But yes, that brings us to the end of Mailbag. I shall close that tab forever. Sorry, I was yawning, and I was trying not to do it loudly into the microphone. It's a theme of tonight. That means... probably... Free talk. Once again, choices. Do we want to do So You Didn't Get That 5-star, or do we want to talk about first impressions of Arctic Summer World?
Do So You Didn't Get That 5-star. I have to step away for a quick second.
Okay, Lucky's gonna take a quick second. I'm going to talk about Summer Gareth. Because Gareth the lifeguard is here and she has a doggo! Look at him! He's there! Bork! He's got a little vest! Isn't it cool? Yeah, well, Axe, you care about stuff too much. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, it's not under game sprite. That'd be cool if it was like a skill sprite. I do want to say in general, I think, I haven't gone through all your ascensions and stuff yet, but Summer Gareth is... very interesting in terms of, like, a summer servant design. I think it's appropriate for her, but it's very funny to me that she's, like, you know, lifeguard, you know, with hat and megaphone and dog and, like, you know, her big, like, surf case, which is actually her sword. And then her second ascension is, like, a cute, you know, swimsuit, and then her third is just, like, fuck you, magical night. I don't care. It's pretty great. Sorry. Itchy hand. She's got pretty normal saber stuff, you know, quick, arts, buster. She's 4 stars, obviously. Her NP is a buster AoE NP. It buffs her attack first based on overcharge and buffs it more if there's sunlight. The normal starts at 10% attack up, and the normal for sunlight is 20% up. So 30% up before NP attack, a decent, you know, a decent stat effect. Definitely feel like they maybe had Summer Gareth's design, you know, in mind for a while. Though, again, because we saw her in a summer event, that wouldn't shock me. Because there's no, like, other effect that scales with NP level, which is a little weird. Would not be surprised if at some point we did not see a buff to this, just because there is no scaling there. But anyway. Her first skill gives her a pretty normal 10 to 20% arts and buster up for 3 turns, and is just a straight up 10 to 20 star bomb. Pretty normal stuff. Nothing crazy there. Second skill is a pretty decent one. We've got 1k to 3k guts, 1 time 3 turns. So, you know, decent spread of guts there. It gives her a star regeneration buff, so 5 to 10 stars per turn for 3 turns, so you can get some more stuff. And also solves the problem that lots of units have in that it makes the battlefield sunlight for 3 turns. Just straight up, it fixes that problem. So if you were concerned about getting the extra attack up, no, we've got that covered. Her final skill is a further 20 to 30% buster up for 3 turns, a 10 to 20% battery. Pretty similar to, you know, most knights of the round have about a 20% battery. It also gives her a 3-turn on-hit buff to burn enemies for 300 damage. Damage is a little low, but still, it is a straight up like on attacker effect there. Her passives are just MRB plus and writing B. Gareth is pretty straightforward. She's got a possible 50% buster up for 3, because if you do her first skill and her third skill, that is a total of 50% buster up for 3 turns. They're additive. Got a pretty decent guts. Got some really interesting star generation, because she's got big star bomb and also stars per turn. And obviously, compared to other poor units, looking at Nemo, her ability to guarantee her own battlefield buff is pretty neat. The burn probably has some synergy with other units. I think on her own, just doing... It feels to me like they were like, oh shit, we need like a third thing for this skill. So doing 300 burn damage for 3 turns, on attack. Let me double check the duration of the actual burn itself, because I didn't jot that down separately. It's probably 3 turns itself, but it might be longer. Yeah, 300 for 3. So, like, not a lot of overlap. None of her skills are like super long cooldowns. Her, passives are pretty normal. What's her append? Oh, saber damage, self. But yeah, her mats are pretty straightforward. Honestly, I'm looking at this. The newest material they've got on her is giant rings on her skills. Honestly, it feels to me that, I kind of feel like they wanted to do a 4-star Gareth first and decided she'd be summer later. I don't know. Maybe I'll dig into her design docs and notes and stuff. But yeah, it's just a pretty straightforward design. It's she's very simple compared to, I think, how crazy other summers can get. And who knows, maybe they were thinking about this as a separate one. We've joked many times before that Lady Avalon seems like a secret anniversary servant. She doesn't even show up in her swimsuit in the event right away. So yeah, I feel like I sense that recently there was some sort of clickbaity YouTube thumbnail that was like, why are there bad units? And Summer Gareth was in it. I don't think she's a bad unit. I think that compared to other summers, she's pretty plain. And her kit's very straightforward, but she's doing a lot of the same stuff that a lot of Knights of the Round units do. It's Gareth. And, it's probably okay. I wouldn't mind a buff to that NP, because, again, it is weird to me to see a unit that came out, 2 years ago in JP have a NP that has no effect other than damage that scale with NP level. It's unusual, but there's nothing, negative, I think, about her straight-up stats. And, you get 50% buster up for 3 turns. Yeah, and obviously she's Gareth, so she has huge HP pools. So yeah, you got some room for some fun stuff there. But yeah, like I said, she's a pretty straightforward, but she has a dog. Isn't that cool? Also, her sword's red. Isn't that cool? I also do like that, I've just double-checked. All of her sprites have, completely different posing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first and third are the most similar, but even then, she's, got her arms and stuff in different positions, and then her middle or her second ascension is just straight up like that. So yeah, no, it's interesting. Having funnily enough gotten the opportunity to use her as story support as well. I think my comment about usually summers being a little more crazy is going to be much more true of our next banner. So look forward to the like I said, the mini wanted on Ibuki, and probably another segment next week about both Summer Wu and Summer Erise. Yeah, those are if you want to go all in on the foes and level up, those are some big HP numbers, which is useful in its own right. This is a thing. It's so weird that I feel like I have to keep saying it because it's just in the discourse. But doing wanted and stuff, I feel like I have to remind people sometimes. Hey, story stuff exists, guys. Sometimes there's challenge quests. Okay, stuff can be designed in a way that you can't do 3-turn AOE NP clears, because that's just not how it works. It's real hard to generate enough MP to loop when there's one enemy. Sometimes you need stuff that's not, normal. You need stonks. But let's talk about our first impressions of Arctic Summer World. They are pretty first. You can only access up through Section 2 right now, as of the time of recording this.
Yep.
But still, other than, I mentioned this off mic, but I'll repeat it. Other than, I think, not, unique to this event, some FGO events have this as well. A little bit of a slow starter. Took a little bit to get to, break into the world map. Had a couple steps there. But still, very interesting and humorous beginning. Full of callbacks. We get to see some of our swimsuit ladies, pre-swimsuit, hanging out in Caldea. Mm-hmm. It is actually kind of interesting to see this event kick off from the standpoint of the kicker offer, Normally when this shit happens, we skip straight to the step where we're in the command room. Now we actually see Skadi be like, haha, I'm going to do a thing. Look at this holy grail. But yeah, we get the usual setup. Something about Eternal Summer in the Arctic Circle. Why? I don't know, man. Scotty likes the cold, I guess. She likes ice cream. But once we actually get into it, I think there's a lot that's good here. I do think that, our inclusion of, our own home team being Gareth plus the lads, very good. Mm-hmm. Great work on the boys. Asclepius is here to support, doing his Asclepius thing. Yang King's doing a great job, and I suspect that Yang King's job is to be there to punch Douman if he does anything. I've already seen many memes about Douman and his faces, where, the best one I saw was, Master, oh, you look good. Everybody else just, like a normal smile emoji. Douman is just, like, doing his face. You know what face he's making when I say
Well, they've called that out already, too. It's like, is that a smile? It's like, yes.
I love that conversation that Gareth and Yang King have, where it's just like, do you ever feel like he's, just plotting something evil? And Gareth is just like, I don't know about that, but I do get a chill down my spine every time he stops. Every time he talks. I haven't gone into the shop many times, so I don't think I've caught the Douman dialogue. I gotta put my ears in and make sure I'm listening.
No, it's funny, especially since you can finally hear him going. It's it's kind of
it's great, and I love that nobody, like, Douman doesn't fool anybody. He's like comma levels of just like, yeah, we know what's up. Like, you see him and you're just like, okay, buddy, sure, you're here to help, great. God, there's a point where he's like, Valkyries, I'm communicating you the coordinates, go do something about it. All three of them are like,
we can't get rid of them, they're in our eyes.
You touch your brains, don't let him do that. No, it's great. So like that's a great crew to assemble. There's some very funny dialogue because we do straight up have, the new Valkyries as like introduced in the event. I'm not sure I get the joke about Gerskogel wanting to be called, is it Ears Is? Anyway, we get to see him in there. They're calling themselves, the new model Valkyries. Our old Valkyries have like concerns about them being outdated, even though they explicitly do say that they already introduced basically like which of the new Valkyries is a costume of who, because they say, they were, produced at the same time as, so-and-so. Great way to lead up to that. But yeah, no, the Valkyries join us. It's great. We get a weird ice boat.
Ice boat cruise liner?
Yeah, they call it like a cruise ship. I think it's more like a big yacht. It's big yacht size, but it's pretty big.
You can travel in comfort and style.
Oh, but we can't drive a boat. What are we going to do? I like that Gareth does chime in. Well, I'm a saber now, so I do have writing, but... And then, we're just like, oh no, we've already arranged a pilot. And then just, the Goth appears. Summer Goth is back.
He is just as confused.
He's just like, wait, how did I get here? What's going on? I love it. Also, no, it's great.
Can we talk about how the Goth is just, like, utterly and completely bamboozled about summer events and why they happen?
Yes. I like how he's just like, of course, it's perfect. It's business as usual this year. And then he, like, does his freak out face. Why would you say it's business as usual? This is not usual. Nobody should ever be used to this. This is crazy.
Why are servants going to it like it's a new spa or something?
And then you can be like, man, this is nothing compared to Servant Fez. And he's just like, was it a fever dream? Did you just say Servant Fez? That's not real, right? Bad news, buddy. It's coming back. Yeah, no. So, and I am sad that, we do appear, by the way, timeline-wise, to be before Trom.
Yes.
Holmes does not appear on screen, but Small Da Vinci says she cannot go because they're still doing the Sacred Sword armament.
Yep.
So I'm a little sad that Da Vinci couldn't go on this summer vacation to an amusement park. But roping in Gordolf directly, great. I love it. I love his summer fit too. He's just chilling. Yeah. It also should be before Tunguska because it is the old command room as well. But we don't actually like speak about the direct impact of that. And then the first area is the Flower Garden, where we meet Lady A. These interactions were everything I could have hoped for from this.
Mm-hmm.
We get our classic, which, by the way, it's so funnier. I'd love to see this animated because it would be Kawasumi-san yelling at herself. But
yes,
Foe immediately jumps in, kill Merlin, Foe. Because Foe was also, by the way, teleported with the director, probably. Or she decided to come on his own. Who knows? But yeah, we meet Lady A, and I love how everybody's just like, what's your deal? What's going on with you? And she's just like, yes, I am Merlin's little sister. Who is Merlin's little sister? Why'd you say it twice? Because I'm Merlin's little sister. And we're just like, Fine, we're gonna roll with it. We get a great Back Spears Boys line in there. Nah, it's pretty good. Like as usual for Summer, great humor, great writing. And then, of course, she decides to just tag along because why not?
Why not?
It's very funny that Summer Scotty has, replicated the Chaldea communication system so she can just fucking call us and hang up on us.
Primordial runes, am I right?
Yeah, no. She's done a lot. She's got a ice castle, the whole works. It'll be interesting to see all the different attractions. So yeah, the first one is an Arctic flower garden. Pretty nice, pretty normal. The second stage is Waku Waku Erisei Land, which is apparently very Waku Waku. I believe this is a reference to, is it just called Waku Waku Land in Fate Stay Night?
I believe so, but Waku Waku Land was more of an indoor pool.
Yeah. So I think it's a reference to the water park from Fate Stay Night, but also just in general, Waku Waku is,
Excited.
Heartbeat, excited, yeah. And it's
Exciting
very
noises.
exciting. There's some great gags there because it turns out that, Erisei, the 14-year-old weird, I don't even know if she's goth, but the weird servant fangirl character, not the greatest sense of taste, literally, as she is assigned to the food court all spicy food, which, some servants like, some do not. I believe it's canonical that Amor Karen likes the spicy food. Also, I think Erisei implies that Rasputin popped over just to eat the spicy food.
Yes.
Which is great. Thank you. That's perfect. No notes. But yeah, Erisei's problem is that she has good ideas, good pitches for amusements, but they're all crazy. There's a sinking ship jump based on Ushiwaka's legend, which is really hard to do.
I actually double checked this. Because they used a test for it, and they used Mandricardo, who's also, a silver rider. But I checked his stats. He has agility A. He has fucking ups. The only person who could complete it, guess who? Ushiwaka Maru, has agility A+. That is how thin the line is between success and failure in that event.
Yeah, no, just to sell you on, how hard it really is. Mandricardo gets pretty far, but no, he doesn't complete it. So that one's problematic. Erisei also has, a fake naval battle with boats based on historical figures, but this one's not going anywhere because, guess what? All the pirate servants, most of whom are Summers at this stage, because Blackbeard's involved as well. I think the only one who doesn't have a summer costume is Black Bart, so keep that one in your pocket, FGO. But they all are arguing about how their ship's stats are terrible, except for the Golden Hind.
And Arisa's reasoning for it was very biased.
Yes. Basically, the short version is she does a lot of text to say the short version, which is, but Drake is the coolest. And I think Lady A says it best when she's like, yeah, naturally this attraction is underperforming. Why would you sign up for a competition when the winners and losers are decided ahead of time? Pretty fair. She has a boat ride, Argonaut Journey, which is incredibly scuffed. I love how scuffed this is. And to be fair to Eris, she tried to hire actual Argonauts. Well, okay. I don't get this fully because it's a One Piece joke, but I think I can pick up on the vibes. But Erisei tried to get the actual Argonauts, and they didn't want to do it. Why? Don't know. But, she tried. She got Voyager to sub in for Jason. It's very cute. I think everybody sees him as just like, well, he's trying his best, okay?
No one can say a bad word about Voyager.
No. For the Dioscuri twins, we have Young Man Lee and Old Man Lee. Very funny.
They're into it.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, I don't know why they agreed to this, but they're having a good time. I also don't know why Robin Hood agreed to this. He's subbed in for Atalanta, and he's arguing with Ares about it, but he's still doing it. Oh, and we have Little Bear Orion as Herc, and I think the only other one is Jack is Asclepius because surgery skill.
Which is hilarious as we are bringing Asclepius.
Yes. And Erisei is equally, fangirling and also mortified that we brought an actual fucking Argonaut to this. And, just Asclepius is just so much I have notes. I diagnosed this ride a failure. Here's your problems. But, he does actually, talk it and turn it around, which I do appreciate that, he makes it constructive. And also brings up a very good point that we've brought up before on this very podcast, which is,
yes,
guys, there's a lot of fucking Argonauts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Argonauts. Depending on which list of names you're using, there's so fucking many of them. So, Asclepius is able to basically, recast everybody.
I do find it hilarious that when he looked at Orion's like, you can be Meleager.
Yeah.
Apparently a married man who hit on Atalante. I was like, was he
remember
married?
I don't remember that part, but it might be true. But at the very least, being a hunter and hitting on women is something that Orion can do. He picks Jason's cousin for Voyager. Sets up the Lees as another set of twins who were the brothers that fought with Dioscuri, stuff like that. And I do appreciate that after Asclepius, really talks about how, listen, Jason, he's a scaredy cat, baby dumb motherfucker, but he was a real captain. And Jason is like, well, he's paid me a compliment. I can't leave now. Asclepius said one nice thing about me, even though Asclepius is like, I don't remember saying anything nice about you. The Argonaut just cattiness is so great to me. I love their relationship, but Jason shows up to actually be the captain, and Atalante has to step in because she can't allow child labor to occur, even though Jack is like, oh, we volunteered for this. It's great. It's a great scene. And then the last one is a ride I appreciate because I feel like this is actually a multifold reference because in case you didn't know, one of the attractions at the original Walt Disneyland was a submarine ride. I don't believe it started as 20,000 Leagues themed, but it was eventually 20,000 Leagues themed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very classic in the history of theme parks. There's a whole Defunctland episode about it if y'all want to run that down. So our next one being, a 20,000 Leagues ride with Nemo is pretty interesting. I like this effect where there's some kind of illusion over the attraction that, everybody on the ride becomes a Nemo.
Yep.
You become a different Nemo. Asclepius is a Nemo.
Well, yeah, the master becomes Captain Nemo.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, you're Captain. Lady Avalon becomes, a Nemo and all that stuff. But also, the actual Nemos are here.
They're helping out.
And they're very overworked.
It's kind of hilarious because the underwater ride is one of the few decent rides here, so a lot of people go there.
I don't want to say that somebody in the FGO team watched a Defunctland episode, but funnily enough, I do believe that and this may just be a general thing about underwater rides if they did some research, but if I remember rightly, the original Disneyland submarine ride was a pain in the ass to maintain because they don't obviously go all the way underwater. They're just basically boats that are designed to sit low in the water and have a large section that is underwater you can go in,
Mm.
But they had a whole lot of maintenance problems. Same thing with speedboats in the original Disneyland, but water rides in amusement parks are ludicrously hard to maintain because if you have any problems with the tracks or you get a spill or something in the water, you have to close the ride, drain all the fucking water, do the work, put all the water back in. So I wonder if that might actually be a talk about how intensive this one is, but in a funny way. Oh, thank you. We're posting some Ark is posting some webvid links to some relative Defunctlands. Also, you should watch Defunctland. Kevin Perger, great presenter, does some good work. Loved his hour-long video about the Disney Channel theme. The Handwich video is also absolutely unhinged. But yeah, so this ride is good, but there's a problem that the Nemos are really overworked. So we're we got to figure out how to get him a break. And we do talk Edisei into closing the ride, but then Scotty decides to stop by for some reason and be like, hello, you're undergoing a random test of your ride. You need to make sure my Valkyries have a great time or I'll do something to you. We don't specify what the contract penalty is, but Edisei is not having a good time. So, the Valkyries ride the ride. Sorry, I remember the segment that's next. Which is the Nemo Marines start malfunctioning, so actual Captain Nemo shows up, and Asclepius has a solution. The solution? A comically large needle.
Well, yes, it's slightly hilarious because even though the Nemos know that, like, you know, they're trying to slow down, they're so hardwired to work that even when they're told to take a break, they can't stop.
Yeah.
So, they're like, oh no, we gotta get them to stop.
Yeah.
And, yes, like you said, comically large needle. And Nemo's like, man, I don't even think, even if I tried to let you do that, I think my body would not let me do that.
Yeah.
So you have a boss fight with Nemo.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I don't know exactly what's next, but so all in all, for like these little micro-contained stories, these are really great. I'm gonna assume that every attraction is gonna end with us like fixing their productivity problem, and then the boss of the area, because Lady Avalon did explain that like there's a series of bounded fields protecting the Disney Ice Castle where Scotty is. I'm going to presume that every time we're going to clear one of these attractions, the person who leading the attraction is going to go, hey, cool, I don't have to do anything anymore. Can I jump on your boat? Just to keep everybody in the story as we noom around. There was one little note I didn't bring up earlier, but we should mention. I do like that at night, you know, you sleep overnight after the first attraction. Once again, referencing the time gate. There's a little memento where Summer Dantes, you know, pops up and he's like, I'm not even supposed to be in this summer, but I'm curious about this giant ice tower, because on the map, I did see it myself. There is a giant ice tower reaching up towards that oversized sun, which I was also like, that's weird. It's pretty big. So he decides to go check out some stuff. So I assume that we're going to get a little bit of Dante's action as well. But I'm once again glad, you know, Night Watchman, Shadow Cop Dantes is out there. Even being like, I'm not even supposed to be here, but I'll show up. But yeah, great jokes. Really want to see what's there, and you know, we'll maybe have some deeper cuts. You know, Scotty hasn't really explained what she wants to do forever summer. I think I can guess, but you know, I think she hung up on us when we asked the first time. She does hang up on us at one point, and we're just like, she just ended the call. But no, it's been pretty great so far. Can't wait to see where more of our lineup. Yeah, she does a quick change because she's in like her business outfit, and we're like, that's not very summer, and she's like, hold on. So yeah, everybody's doing a pretty cool thing. We got some good cameos, having a fun time. Yeah, I get the impression that Summer Scotty is not a micromanager. Like, she just kind of like picked like the first, you know, 6 summer servants who volunteered to run her attractions, and is just kind of like letting them do their own thing. She's having fun, okay?
Yeah,
enjoying her ice treats. But yeah, the event is cool. And there's a lot of fun. And like I said, don't forget to renovate. Spend your ice bricks.
I think I'm level 4 in both of mine right now.
I'm doing pretty good. I haven't been.
Like I said, I'm not going ham in the event. Like I said,
I think I did. You know,
once I get done rolling this Sunday, I believe I am.
Well, you'll be, you know, fully gassed up.
Yes. Thank you, Varen, for just making me feel like I don't do shit.
Yeah, some people are already like. I remember this comment in our. Was it spoilers? I think it was spoilers. Some people are already like blocked out on like the 2 weekend access. I guess if you're not doing anything else these past 2 days, sure, but like it's a little crazy. It is true. The store CE does do drops, but most of us have to buy them. I have not gotten a CE drop. There we go. Thank you, Architect. I haven't even started yet. Thank you. I appreciate this. Hey, Lucky, you're ahead of me. Like I said, I'm just 2 and 2.
Yeah.
It is true because you can get bonus currency. If I recall correctly, I think I just talked about I mentioned it on the pregame, but not go into it. If I recall correctly, the currency prices, they're not super high, but they do increase each stage. Like the last stage is like 60 blocks per stage or something, so it will go up. At the very least, that hopefully means it won't be too hard to blitz through it when we're getting in there. I'll take that QP and those EXPs. And thank you for making them 5-star EXPs, FGO. Also, once again, I haven't gotten all the copies yet, but thank you for putting 5 copies of each of the 2 CEs in this event without needing to farm for drops. Thank you. There's 4 in the store of the store one, and then 1 of those is in the point ladder, and then there's 5 of the Bargast CE just in the point ladder. Thank you. That's great. Thumbs up. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Where are we at? About an hour 20. Any other first impressions of Arctic Summer World, Lucky?
Not necessarily.
I believe we'll be done with all the time gates by next week, so we might be able to talk about the full story. I think it's only 7 days, though there's some, extra stuff to clap for NP copies and stuff. But Probably not like final thoughts, but maybe some more in-depth thoughts about them's main story. You know us, we love that main story. But it takes us to the what's up zone. I think my tone of some of this stuff has changed slightly from the middle of it, because I did have still a Zenless Zone Zero ZZZ note in here. Mm-hmm. But obviously you said earlier that you have uninstalled the game.
Yeah. Ultimately, I don't think Zenless Zone Zero is for me. Not in the long term.
That may be true.
So, right off the bat, I don't necessarily like how MiHoYo does their banners and whatnot. People might think they're getting a lot of, a lot of currency right now, but that's because we're at the beginning of the game, and you have a lot of, trophies and achievements that you can do. All that's eventually gonna dry up, and you don't necessarily get a lot from doing stuff, elsewhere, doing your daily logins and stuff. You have limits on, other content. You almost get no reels, as it were, normal ass reels. You usually have to exchange another currency to get them, and you get that currency by making rolls.
Yeah, it is kind of circular. I have noticed that I forget what are they master? There's two kinds of reels. One of them is rainbow, one of them is not. The non-rainbow reels are kind of fairly limited in how you get them. Another way you can get them is by promoting your units every couple of promotions, I think. Yeah. Which means you have to roll new units.
Yeah. So no, it's a very tight-fisted gotcha system. I'm not a fan of that. The game launched and they started with a limited banner. Started when you already have a limited number of units. So it's no, it's I had this problem with Genshin. I kind of saw it in Honkai Star Rail, and they're just continuing it on with it. It's just. Yeah, we're just gonna make you fight for every bit of free-to-play that you can. And if not, well, tough luck. The other problem I've been having right now is that I don't think Zenless Zone Zero respects my time. I've been, before I quit, I was proxy level, 31. I wanted to get my proxy rank up done so I could, level up my units more, but that was tied to something in the story, and I had no indication when that was happening. But the game keeps saying, hey, you can do what you want for this day. I'm can I go do my proxy rank up? And they're no! Here, go do this thing that's going to spend a half hour in here that you can't skip and gives you very shitty rewards, but you're going to have to do it several times this week if you want to get the max out of it. Not to mention that because you didn't want to, have MiHoYo running on your computer constantly, we're going to take downloading your resource cache fucking forever.
Yeah, that is just... It's been a little bit since that happened, but even on PlayStation, that does still happen pretty regularly when I log in. They're hold on. We gotta recheck all your stuff.
No, the combat is fun and stylish and fan. I do like it, and I was liking the story, and I do like the character designs and stuff. But there's a lot of right now, I can't. There's nothing for me to do with my AP, I want to say AP, really, because guess what? I have maxed out all the characters I have. I've maxed out all the stats they have, got all the materials they have, and I still haven't been able to level up my proxy level because I have to keep pushing through story content one thing at a time. And they keep giving me these little side missions to do, which are very much a little bit of nothings, but I need them so I can get the points so I can up my proxy rank. And I'm just why are you so dedicated for me to run around in circles?
I mean, as you're saying these things, my brain's developing a theory, but please continue.
And it's I just can't. The final straw was, though, because I've had these thoughts since I've been playing, but the final straw, though, was the conversation we had earlier where people were talking about how the male protagonist is boring and the girl protagonist is where it's at. And as someone who likes playing both male and female protagonists in games, I feel like I'm one of the only few people who likes playing Hakuno in the extra games. Everyone's always playing the girl Hakuno. I'm just but he's cool. And they're no, girl Hakuno. And I'm just okay. And it's the same thing here. Someone posted a thing talking about how the male protagonist is has no personality, is boring, and the girl is, actually has a personality, but everything I'm hearing about her makes her an absolute, garbage fire. It's people don't, if you do not scream at the top of your lungs and make constant facial expressions, you're boring. It's like, God, and I hate that. Like,
Honestly, I think that Belle has some lines that you can say that are like a little out of pocket, but like acting wise, delivery wise, she's being presented as pretty even keel. Like it's not like super over the top reactions, but yeah, no, it's one of those things where like you say you were milling over some of these thoughts for a while. It sounds like it was just kind of like it is the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's one of those things that like, well, yeah.
Well, too bad, Axe. You brought it to my attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't have just brought the screen cap. It's one of those things where, like, I know you want, like, validation's not the right word, but you like to double check opinions. But I'm like, I would just, you don't like those people's opinions? They're wrong. I know you're bad at like internalizing your opinions. It's a you thing, but like sometimes you can just tell that's a stinky opinion. People can have stinky opinions. They can be smelly, and you can just be like, nah, that's not it. But yeah, I don't know. I want to say I feel kind of like some of this is like with just Zenless's design in general. From what you're saying, I'm still at like Aeronaut level like 18. I'm still kind of like in the back. So I don't know if I've hit the point where I feel like I'm going in circles yet. I'm personally gonna like keep pressing on for a while, with the idea that I may, like other people, just get tired of it and drop it. We'll see. I've played games I liked story-wise a little bit more and still eventually cut them out. But I'm not at the point personally where I feel like it's quite wasting my time. I'm still at a stage where I can pop in for a little bit, like clear a story chapter or check out a side vib. But I can definitely see where it gets to that point because, like I said, I feel like Zenless is kind of got that, like, I mean, it literally is the third child syndrome where, like, Genshin is Genshin, right? It's come out. Mm-hmm. It's kind of groundbreaking. It's still the thing that's kind of, like, on everybody's lips. And, again, I don't know if it's because MiHoYo has a direct line to Jeff Keighley's back pocket or what. Why they keep getting these fucking nominations for like Game Awards and stuff, but like it's in the public eye, it's in the eye of like outlets and the audience and stuff, and so it has like brand recognition on its own, but also it has rough patches from where it's very obviously the first. It's got its own controversies that we don't need to get into because I don't want that smoke, but it's well easy to run on some systems. I think. Honestly, part of Genshin's accessibility is the fact that you can actually play it like on Steam or on console, I think is a good one. But also I know that Genshin was really rough on some phones. But yeah, like Genshin has that brand recognition. And I think, all of us play gacha games. We should all be very intimately familiar with the sunk cost fallacy. I think Genshin is pretty good at sucking people into that sunk cost zone. You think to yourself, because I remember somebody was talking about responses to their current colorism complaints and like talking about boycotts, and it's like somebody quote tweeted this and was like, none of these steps say to actually stop playing Genshin, and I'm just like, yeah, that's sunk cost fallacy. These people are like they're oh god, I forgot the home run for a second. They're dopamine addicts, so they don't want to stop playing, but also they want to like bring about change. And it's like, hey, you know what? The best way to bring about, don't log in for a couple weeks. I know you'll miss some of that sweet free currency, but that'll actually, to make your game designers sit up and go like, oh shit, our player count is dropping. This is bad. But like I said, Genshin has that brand recognition. It's got people sucked in. I joked earlier that, the Hoyoverse fandom is sometimes at odds with itself. From what I understand, still don't personally play Honkai Star Rail. Do not know if I'm going to look at it ever. But it does tickle the back of my mind occasionally. Well, yeah, they make a lot of money in CN, which is, sadly, I don't think your complaints can physically reach the people in China to let them know about how their ideas of coloration are maybe a little outdated. Just because, it's China. There's this whole firewall thing. It's hard for your Tumblr vibes to penetrate the Great Firewall. Or Twitter. There's a lot of people upset on Twitter, too. But, like, Honkai Star Rail, from what I understand, is, like, more generous with free currency. There was a lot of controversy on the Genshin side when actually to celebrate a milestone, they straight up gave away a free unit who was named Dr. Ratio, in case you didn't hear that story, by the way. Great move, MiHoYo. I love it, actually. I'm not being ironic. I actually think it's fucking hilarious that the free guy's called Dr. Ratio. But that, I believe, upset a lot of Genshin guys because, like, I don't fucking know if Genshin's giving out free units. When was the last time they gave out free units, And I wonder if Zenless, as kind of like I said, the third child, is going in that same direction of, like, we understand that our primary competition is our own other games, right? So we have to figure out what to do. And like I said, when I said earlier, I was like, I'm formulating a theory. I'm wondering if the reason why it feels like there's that point, somewhere in it feels like the 30-ish level, like some people are still on like Internet level 30 and they still feel like they're being tutorialed. I'm wondering if Zenless is designed to avoid a problem that I think Genshin did have right out the gate, which is in Genshin, it was super easy to chew through like all of the story at launch, and then you were stuck with just like logging in to do daily content and like high-end content, which people didn't super like, if I remember correctly from back in the day. That was actually when I was playing Genshin. So like, I'm wondering if they've made Zenless a little more treadmill-y to avoid that problem where, like I said, people just blow through everything right away and get to the end and are like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And that is probably causing different problems. Like I said, I'm still interested in like keeping to poke this and figure out what's going on. But I definitely feel like Lucky, when you're talking about, I feel like it's, not respecting my time, and I'm just kind of like getting out here, and I'm just like, yeah, I could feel myself hitting that point. I'm not there yet, but it is one of those things where like, when you're not hooked in on the game, or, I mean, even if you are hooked on the game, but it's like, I don't feel like the game is being right for my time. And then also you're like, and also, I don't want to talk to nobody about this game. I don't want to acknowledge other people playing this game exist because I hate them.
I'm definitely in that vibe. Just like,
I definitely have had, even media that I like, I have had times where I'm like, I do not want to discuss this with nobody. I don't want to acknowledge I'm into this thing. People who are into this thing are crazy. I don't want to talk about it, I won't give any examples right now because that would defeat the purpose. But yeah, I totally understand that vibe of just like, I like this thing, but also blinders on. Don't want to see nobody. So yeah, like when you get those points, it's like, well, why am I playing? And good on you for being able to just go straight to fucking uninstall.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of games I'm playing right now. I've booted up Snowbreak, like, and I'm playing that.
Still vibing with Snowbreak?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly. Well, like, again, this is like what I'm talking about. Like, right now they're celebrating their first anniversary right now. They actually had a very sweet in-game video where all the girls tell them, it's like, hey, we love being with you. Thank you for being here. I'm all like, I've only known you girls for like 2 weeks! But, no, like, Snowbreak is much more, I think, more my vibe. Because, like I said, it's been out for a year. So, it's had its up and downs. Like I said, I only conned on to this game. I kind of wish I conned on to it earlier. I'm gonna be real. This is like
so
me,
many
like,
games, though.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those episodes. It's like Final Fantasy 14 1.0. I was like, I wish I got 1.0 because then I have a sweet tattoo. But yeah. So this game's been out for like a year, and they're doing their first year anniversary, and they've done a lot of things. Like one of the things they did is they said, you know what, fuck it, let's just full send it on the fan service and be okay with that. And apparently that has actually really helped their game. But they're like very like they're generous with free currency. They have the same kind of gacha system that like Zenless Zone Zero has, and that you have characters and weapons in the same pool and whatnot. So it's not the best, but you get like a bunch of free units. They just give them to you like constantly.
See, that's the good shit where like you can mix and match, because like I was discussing like earlier talking about like, yeah, FGO's pity system sucks, but also, like, you literally can't roll all CEs. It's not allowed if you're rolling the premium gacha. Like, and I've gotten all W engines in Zenless, and it's not cool. I don't like it.
And I think another problem that I have with, like, Genshin, like, MiHoYo games and other games, like, maybe I didn't get far enough in the game, but I feel like I can never make, like, a personal connection with any characters. It's like, you're always, like, you are a character, and then they are a character, and you're always standing 6 feet apart, no matter what you do. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but I personally don't like that.
I don't know if that's their writing style. I don't know. It may be also because it's still early. Like, I think they do a decent job of, like, making all the characters be characters, but it definitely feels like we've only got budget for so many, like, super in-depth cutscenes, so sometimes we're just kind of, like, hanging out. Like, I remember it was when they unlocked the arcade with minigames, like, you go there to hang out with Billy, but you don't actually hang out with Billy. You have to play a snake game against people, and then it's like, oh, it was cool.
Yeah, like, actually, hang on, I just like took a screenshot here because I think it's here. But like, yeah, no, like I just logged in, I go to the base to do some stuff, and they play, like, for an anniversary video, they played this video where all these girls come on, like, hey, we love you. I'm all like, yes, I feel loved. So I'm just like,
It's pretty basic, but there's a reason why cheap heat works.
yeah. And like I said, that's the thing about, like, Snowbreak. And it's not like, oh god, what I want to say. Like, environmental design is, like, way more basic than ZZZ, and combat is way more simple too. But I feel like I can connect with these characters a lot better than I could in ZZZ. Because apparently you are supposed to unlock, like, personal missions with them. But like I said, I've been playing the ZZZ for 2 weeks, putting in, like, a couple, like, 2 to 3 hours every single day, and I still haven't got to that yet. Here, I've been playing this game for, like, oh god, I think about almost, like, the same amount of time, and, there's some of these girls here that I would fucking die for. It's like that's what I generally want more in my games. I want, like, I like having cool combat, I like doing cool things, but I want to be able to interact with characters. Like, fuck, like, in ZZZ, I'm constantly using, cunning hairs, because guess what? What was given to me for free, and I did want them. But despite me using all the time, it's like, it doesn't actually mean anything. There's no, like, I don't know if there's, like, a bond system or a thing, and oh, no, there is? Well, guess what? I played this game for 60 hours and I haven't gotten it yet!
Yeah. Literally, we're saying it's super late. Yeah, that's like I said, I think that Hoyo's obviously been doing this a while. They were doing games even before Genshin, I think they know what their treadmill is like. I feel like we've got a really long treadmill in Zenless because they're trying to hook you in for the long term, and it's like, that's also annoying in its own way.
It's like, you can't hook me all in for the long term if I don't know what's coming.
It's definitely one of those things where, like, I wonder if it'll be like a thing in like a year where people are like, oh yeah, no man, listen, you just gotta zoom in, listen, sorry, I'm just thinking of like the fucking Final Fantasy 14 discourse. No, dude, once you get past AAR, it'll be great. I feel Zenless is gonna be cursed to that existence as well soon.
Oh god, all the girls are sending me individual letters, just
that's
saying
great.
nice things. I'm like,
sorry, I'm trying to get more details on Amazing Sea-Sun, who makes like Snowbreak to see, because it feels like they know like where their situation is, right? With like, they're probably not like a super huge franchise, so they're like, okay, we need to get people in. What does that do? Well, we gotta be generous. We gotta get them hooked in. We gotta make them feel loved so they feel comfortable spending money. Good, great. Like, it's a very different approach than I feel like. Sometimes I feel like Hoyoverse has an approach of like, bitch, I'm Hoyoverse.
No, I definitely feel that.
Where else are you gonna get Genshin Impact from, huh? And I mean, they're right. Nobody has quite made a competing product, but... oh, God, the fucking cat. Oh, killing me, Smalls. But yeah, no, like, there are different games. Also, hey, fun fact, Amazing Sea-Sun is going to be the major developer for and publisher for Mecha Break, that upcoming super customizable mecha game.
I can see that. Like I said, their 3D animations aren't bad. Like, I wish I could, like, actually, I probably could show you, but, like, their models are pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, chat, if you're interested, Snowbreak is on Steam, so Snowbreak Containment Zone.
Well, I just downloaded a straight launcher, so I wouldn't have to worry about anyone trying to censor my shit.
Well, I mean, that's also true. Not that Steam super gives a shit, but it is, if you're like looking for it, it's on, Google Play and Steam as well, so you can find it your normal way. I do not believe they have a console port, but
I do not think so.
Steam, they've figured out the accessibility.
No, but like I said, I've weighed Snowbreak and ZZZ against each other, and I find that Snowbreak checks more of my boxes than Triple Z does, and that's simply it. And since no one else plays it here, no one else is gonna tell me shit about it. So it's fine. It's perfect.
This is like you with Destiny Child, where the only other, I mean, there were a few. I won't slander everybody in Discord, but it was a much smaller player base compared. Your primary person you talked with about it was Loth, and that's like, you don't gotta fear shit from Loth for bad opinions. Well,
it's not that I want to walk a lone path. I just want to walk a path where people don't scream obscenities at me.
I mean, it's the Twitter problem. I love this meme, but also hate that it's true about just like, you can't say shit online without like 4 motherfuckers jumping out of the bush to be like, hey, you had an opinion about something, huh? And it's like,
well,
yeah. And listen, sometimes you feel like fighting. Other times you're just like, nah, man. Like I said, this is why I've gotten very proactive with blocking people on Twitter. I'm just like, nope, I don't want to hear from you anymore.
Like, I'm not trying to live in an echo chamber, because I don't mind having, like, I don't mind arguing, I don't mind debating, I don't mind discussing. But there's a line between those sort of things and just being an absolute fucking jerk and a little shit. Like, and too often I'm seeing people online, much more people are the latter, where because they are online and apparently their word is the most important words in this conversation, they feel like whatever they say is the word of God, and anyone who disagrees with them is just, garbage. I'm like, no. I can think you are a normal, intelligent, respectable being and have a different opinion about me, and we can fight about it. But we don't have to bring in straw men or fucking
There's a difference between having a healthy, even an energetic discussion and just fucking yapping. And I think there's a reason why the yap verb has gotten so prevalent on the internet, because when I say yap, what do you think of? You probably think of a small, angry, evil little dog. And that's what it's like, is there's just some of these people on the internet, they be yapping, they're just annoying, shitty little dogs biting at your heels. And like, Lucky's not gonna die if a chihuahua bites his heel, but it hurts and it's annoying, and you don't want to deal with it.
No, I don't.
I want to go to the cat pub instead.
I want to go to the cat pub!
Sorry, that was just, my brain just, neurons fired. I was like, cat pub, bring it back.
I love the cat pub.
Well, that's great. No.
So...
No, it's not the deadly Zanzibar Chihuahua. I'm still not over the poison mice. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like that's the point. Like, if I'm in an argument with someone, I'm like expecting either like one of three things to happen. Either we find common ground, even if we don't fully agree. We, maybe change our minds about something, or we just agree to disagree, and then we move on with our lives. Too many times I'm trying to argue with someone on the internet and they just refuse to do any of these. They say they don't want to fight, but they gotta have the last word. They have to have the last word. It's like they refuse to entertain any other opinions than their own and selectively pick facts. And they can't seem to live with the fact that someone else thinks differently than them.
That last one's a real problem in our current ethos of the world. That's not just an internet thing. It's just like a lot of people... I think there's plenty of people who are generally expanding their horizons. People are, statistically anyway, like, generally, supposedly, according to, polling and stuff, more accepting of people, living their lives differently than other people being different from you, diversity and all that stuff. But God, there are a lot of people who are just, like, cannot stand the idea that somebody has an opinion, a belief or a stance different than them. And that is something that is irregardless of political affiliation or social standing. There are just a lot of people who can't take that some people don't think the exact same way as them, and it really fucks their shit up, which unfortunately means that they're trying to fuck my shit up. Just like, people are gonna be different than you. We didn't all, come from the same place. We didn't go through all the same shit. Brains gonna be brains. And you gotta develop a mechanism for dealing with people who are going to have thoughts and feelings and experiences that are different than yours. This is true in, like, all kinds of stuff. Again, people, again, you might be thinking I'm leaning, like, one political way or another saying this. No. Everybody, you're going to have to get, like, just as much, that, like, you may have to deal with the fact that if you're, super progressive and liberal and all that stuff, you're going to have to deal with some old-ass boomers who are very close-minded. And if you're an old-ass, closed-minded boomer, you might have to deal with the fact that, hey, some of the people that you may have to interact with in your life are, black or Hispanic or whatever, which I understand. I have met some people in my life, unfortunately, who were very much, like, were not capable of handling that problem. And that's, like, real dumb. That's no way to go through your life, to just be like, I can't deal with the fact that people exist. Because guess what? They exist, and guess what? You're not going to fucking do anything about the fact that they exist, coward. Not that I'm incentivizing people to be violent or anything, but also, like, I understand most humans don't have the stones to be violent about stuff. Some do, and a lot of them suck. But people don't often have the guts to take shit into their own hands, so guess what? You got to deal with it. Yeah, no, I don't want to get into that conversation, Axe, but it's true, and it's one of those things where, like, people complain about Luke Lamont's character, and I'm just like, okay, all right. Are you like normal about this, or are you being shitty about this? Or extra
I'm a little
shitty, I should
shitty
say.
about it because I'll weigh on this. Like, I think it's perfectly fine that Mukumat's VA is trans. I don't think it's cool that people are trying to say that Mukumat's character is better because the VA is trans. That's what I'm not about.
Yeah, and I haven't actually heard that a lot from people, but it is one of those things where, like, I mean, it's, good to get roles.
Mhm.
Good for that. But yeah, that's not necessarily like a plus or minus factor. Casting found the voice actress for a reason and cast her. That was their decision. It's really not a thing that gets in there or gets out there. To be honest, I suspect, if I have a feeling about the general voice direction quality of Dawn Trail, I strongly suspect it's because they're used to voice directing people with British accents, and we got a lot of people who are, American sounding, and especially Latin American sounding, and maybe we don't know what to do with that. Shout out to them for finding. I talked about this on the stream though the other day, this week. Shout out to them for finding all these fucking gravelly voiced motherfuckers though. There are so many big grumbly people in Dawn Trail. How did you find them all? They're doing great work. I hope that they have enough water when they're doing this voice. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things. Like I said, you gotta learn how to exist with people who are different from you in some way, or you gotta arrange yourself so that you don't have to fucking cross over with those people and can mind your own beeswax. You don't gotta yap about it on the internet. Like, Lucky's not going on Twitter and being like, I uninstalled Zenless Zone Zero. Because I know that there will be people who are doing that.
Yeah, I just don't post.
I think somebody already Discord talked, like, I think some YouTube channels are already posted, like, thumbnails of, like, Zenless Zone Zero over already? Huge mistake.
Really?
I think so, yes. I don't know what, like, it's clickbait, obviously. I don't know what the context of that video is, but, like, I think that the content machine has already produced some deranged video titles and thumbnails about ZZZ, yes. Sorry, that, your genuine surprise got a chuckle out of me, which tickled my mucus.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like Zenless Zone Zero. It's not a bad game. It's just not the one that's for me.
Yes, that's the thing I want to. If people didn't catch it, I want to emphasize this. This is the difference I think between, and even for myself, I've talked before about my fucking love-hate relationship with FromSoft games, which generally I do not actually think a lot of those games are for me personally. And I know it's my eternal struggle because I want them to be for me and they're not. But like, I understand just from you talking about uninstalling it, you don't mean any ill on Zenless. Like, you're not out here going like, yes, I uninstalled Zenless Zone Zero. I want it to fail now. Ha, mwahaha. No, you're just like, I played the game for 60 hours. I decided I didn't want to play it anymore. I've uninstalled the game. It's just that straightforward. Oh, I know. I'm not going to call anybody out by name either, but there are some people in our Discord who do, like, by the way, I got you type saying Dawn Trail. There are some people in our Discord, in our community, who will, like, grab some rancid, smelly takes from Twitter and, like, be like, can you believe this fucking thing that I saw on Twitter? And, like, on the one hand, I want to be like, why did you see this on Twitter? But also, sometimes Twitter just hands you shit and is like, hey, do you like this? And I'm like, no, actually, I'm upset about this. Cool, great, engage with it. I'm like, no, block. But other people don't do that. Like, that's part of the outrage machine. I know that that's, like, part of how Twitter and YouTube and Facebook works. It's, like, something that companies in this space have cottoned onto, that people like outrage, or people engage with outrage, I should say. I think it eventually will understand that we probably should have cooled it off with all the outrage, but, today is not that day.
Nope.
But yes, there are people who go on our Discord and, like, post fucking shit to, like, be mad about it to, like, share stuff. And sometimes I feel like I gotta be like, okay, guys, calm down. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, no. Sometimes I think that's just how some people do work through their brain stuff, where, like, you see some shit and you're just like, oh, I gotta tell somebody about this. I gotta get out, because there are people who are like for me, if I see, like, a terrible take online on Twitter, like I said, my way of, like, processing that is just to go, ugh, like, close the tab, hit the block button, mute them, whatever. Like, just, like, close it out, move on. I'm like, this is gonna piss me off. Don't want it, But there are other people who, like, have to work out for, like, they're like, this is pissing me off. Hold on, I gotta, like, talk about this. But sometimes you do need to tell those people to, like, cool their jets and call it a day. wow, we talk about this. This conversation went a couple different ways. We talked about this for a while. Well, the show's almost at 2 hours. But yeah, Snowbreak. You're positive about that one. I don't want to. Another thing I want to mention in case people aren't reading the header of the mailbag posts. How dare you? Lucky writes those for you personally every week.
Mhm.
Tim. Somebody who's named Tim's real freaked out right now. But I know that you said that you were like reaching the point where you're playing too many gacha games again. So I personally was kind of thinking cutting something would come forward.
Yeah, and like out of all of them, like it was in the zone. That's just like
It's
just
the least joy.
yeah, like I said, just the community being the way it is, the fact that I feel like I am not gonna get enough currency to make decent rolls, and the fact that I didn't feel the game was respecting my time. Like those three things. Like I said, there's plenty of things I like about Genshin. Like I said, combat's fun, character designs are neat, the character personalities themselves are fun. Like I said, I didn't get to the point where I can unlock interactions between them. And again, this falls back into I don't think the game is respecting my time. They want me to spend like 12 hours playing this game every day, apparently.
That I would not. Sometimes I feel like that's either the design of just like certain games like made in China, which is weird because I know that like for certain age brackets, I think that they like the People's Republic of China doesn't actually want you to be playing video games 24 hours a day. I think there are screen requirements if you're like under 18 and stuff, but like I don't know if it's just the way the gacha game has gotten, but there are games that do genuinely are like, oh, we want you to play literally nothing but this game like 8 hours a day, and those games I agree. I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm way too scatterbrained for that shit.
And Snowbreak, I can if you beat like one of like this is the problem with like Zenless Zone. Like you can go to the HIA to go farm mats, but you couldn't auto clear them. You had to go in and do them every single time, even if you would just fucking smash them in like a couple minutes. You had to go in there and click buttons. And Snowbreak, once I beat something for the first time, unlock auto clear. Just assign how much AP you're gonna use, let it go. I'm like,
yeah, you're telling me this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is a game that is designed by smart, savvy people. They understand like what their market is like and who they're competing with, and they're like, oh yeah, we know how we're gonna keep our customers, our players involved.
I was about to do something.
Good for them.
Oh yeah, no. It's like I cry that I did not get into it earlier. I wish I would have been here at launch.
Yeah,
all the free shit I missed.
I don't think I saw many people in our Discord making a
fuss.
From
what I understand, it was very much a 1.0 Final Fantasy 14 situation. The game really wasn't that good at launch. And it wasn't until like a few months ago that they said, you know what, fuck it, and started turning it around.
Getting gassed up.
Yeah, so
all right. We'll see how it goes. There is, other newsies brewing. There's finally an English site for Girls Frontline 2 Exilium.
Rad.
So that's interesting. That's another game that I will check out and may not play for very long because it'll probably be just as depressing as Girls Frontline 1 was. But it's XCOM now, which is cool. Also, they've been showing a lot more promo materials. The atmospheric animations, slightly unhinged. I think they showed, I don't remember which shotgun. Was it Spas? One of the shotgun girls with, like, a popsicle where she, like, goes all in on the popsicle and then she's like, hey, you want this? And it's, like, crazy. That said, also to talk about just the way different fandoms vibe, it fucking came out in the English that, like, one of the research ladies, was it Samantha Shaw, is, like, her stat age is listed, like, 53, and, like, there's a certain sector on Twitter who are just, like, perfectly normal, as I like to say about it. Which, in case you don't, media literacy, in case anybody doesn't get that, when I say people are being perfectly normal with that stilted tone of voice, I mean they're not normal. They're freaks. They're freaks about it. Okay, I don't know what like the way the internet is turning on is recontextualizing the word hag is crazy. Anyway, I'm interested in Exilium because, like I said, it looks like it's just XCOM now, but with gun girls, and I'm like, shit, that's me, baby. I'm the target audience. Do I have cursed knowledge that Legendary doesn't know? I want to be careful. Like, I feel like I could, like, flashbang the whole patron Discord right now, and I'm like, I don't want to do that, but also, like, do you not know? Clueless? Yes, the short version is people online, use, hag to mean, older lady I want to bone now. It's like MILF, because I think MILF became a nothing word, actually. I actually think the phrase mommy and MILF became words that don't mean anything anymore, and so now we're on hags. I mean, I don't know. You say no motherly connotation. I don't know. I think there's some connotations about trying to make him a mother. Anyway, the internet's great, chat.
I hate it.
Yes, I hate it. Please don't be on it too much. Remember to touch grass.
I went on and did several hours of yard work today.
I may actually be on the line because it's been raining a lot and my father's been working on stuff. I may be on the line to have to mow the lawn sometime this upcoming week. I'm sure that'll be fun in summer. You don't have to jog to touch grass. You get covered over patio. Reminds me, I gotta keep an ear out. Fucking spiders. Ugh. I gotta keep an ear out though. Apparently last night well, one of the screens is like busted in. It was torn too, not just popped the seam. So there's a concern that there's some great googly moogly out there. We have coyotes and also apparently live in bobcat territory. I don't know if a bobcat would be crazy enough to pop inside a human screen pool, but they're vibing out there. So I'll keep an ear out to see if anybody else is causing trouble in my neighborhood. That's a lot of spiders. I don't have that spider problem anymore, but I've lived in houses where I've had to kill spiders daily. Also centipedes and I had a millipede in my bed once, and that was not fun. Listen. We've talked about this before, chat. It's about the size of the spider. If the spider is as big as the palm of my hand, it's got to go. That homie can't be in my living space, okay? He's got to get the fuck out of my house. Corner spiders that are smaller than my thumbnail, I don't give a shit about those guys. They can live in the corners and be cool, okay? Corner spiders, good. Walking ass spiders as big as my hand, no. You got to go. You cannot be in my shower, okay, cuz? Not okay. Scorpions, right out. I think Legendary, you should include, once again, you should include shower in that conversation. You know, I usually feel like I'm not, like, super, as like, weirdly paranoid and, anxious about my life as I always have been, but there's a certain amount of vulnerability being in the shower and having a spider in there. That's, like I said, that's, you gotta go, homie. That's not okay. You're dead. I am fucking naked and wet. Get out of here. And like I said, scorpions, gotta go. Anyway, sorry about that, what lovely discussion we had. Chat took me on a divestment about tags into spiders because I told him to touch grass. Touch grass, don't touch spiders unless they like it.
Lucky's the weird one here. I usually don't really give a fuck about insects unless they are directly in my steez. It's like I'm a person. I have spiders and ants crawling over me. I'm just like, you guys tickle me. Please do not get on my face. And I usually let them be.
Some of that might be, I've talked before about having, like, more sensitive skin. I've talked before about joking about touch grass, that, like, when I was much younger, I actually did not like to touch grass because it, like, really made my skin itch. Which is funny because I go barefoot a lot. So, like, I think that, like, even the phantom sensation of, like, a bug on my skin still makes me go, wah, watch out, a lot. The only insects that I'm absolutely, like, no fucking way is, like, they're not the exact same, but it's bees and wasps because of irrational phobia. Like I said, the spider situation is like, if the spider is over a certain size and he's in my personal space, it's gotta go. And like I said, scorpions gotta go, but that's because we have cats.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I just remembered another reason why I'm preferring Snowbreak over Zenless Zone Zero.
Go for it.
It's because, in Zenless Zone Zero and MiHoYo games, you need to roll extra copies of characters to unlock abilities. There's no
it's like NP levels but worse.
Yeah, it's like NP's level and worse. In Snowbreak, you don't need to do that. Once you roll a character, you don't actually have to roll extra copies. You just need to get these little, like, manifestation tokens, and you can get those through normal gameplay. Like, a limited number per day, but you can get them for free. So as long as you keep playing the game, you'll eventually max out that character.
Yeah, no, like I said, this game sounds very generous and like it's designed by smart people. Check it out.
Yeah, so it's like I was trying to think. I know there was like something else though, because people were talking about pity systems and whatnot, and the issue of like multiple copies came up early, and I was like, I had something to chime in on there, and that's what it was.
Yeah, good. You remembered. Okay. Ugh. Wills and yeah, that's I think all that stuff. It's almost midnight. Recording for over 2 hours. I do have one more, just like letting you all know I'm not under a rock, but it's been a very interesting day today. As I think that was on it earlier when we talked about CrowdStrike, but there's a global IT crisis.
Good job, people.
There is some kind of update was pushed to the CrowdStrike service, which is a type of security software that is used in a lot of systems. I believe it's mostly or entirely Microsoft-based ones, but it's across multiple versions of Microsoft Windows. So, not even like not having the latest Microsoft will save you. And it's bad. It like bricked everything. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. It's probably because one, yes, you're saying you have an actual IT team. But also, it's probably because being federal, you have some other security measure. Yeah, Y2K shit. Everybody's, like got blue screen. And if you want to know more, there are people who have actually like completely tracked down the problem. But it's pretty crazy, and I think it's putting a lot of like context in there for like how a lot of IT stuff has gotten. Like I've seen people talking about tweets about like, CrowdStrike putting out a note like, oh, it's very easy to solve this if you have physical access to your machine, physically reboot it. And then it's like people who outsourced, 50,000 PCs to Bangalore, yikes face. And it's like, yeah, no, that's one of those things. Like, this is the risk you have when you don't have physical access to your hardware. I know, I can't remember which Discord it was in for sure, but I saw some people talking about how like they had some problems where like, I think it was our Discord, but talking about like their local teams were fine, but like some of their like international collaborators were not okay. One of those back and forths. I think airlines were like in general in America were shut down because all of their systems relied on this, except for Southwest, who were still up and running. And I think that may have been, I think it was a real tweet, but their social media person, I think, was very catty about this.
I don't think it was a real tweet, because I checked their actual Twitter, I didn't see it.
Okay, it was probably doctored then, because like it came from a yellow checkmark like legacy account, but yeah, maybe also it might have been deleted. Double check with me, chat. But I do think it's a super funny joke to make of like, oh, now everybody likes Southwest because we run our computer system on a single Commodore 64 in a warehouse. It probably wasn't real because I think it said "fuck you" in it, but it was a very good doctor, and that is kind of
it said "go to hell."
Oh yeah, go to hell. Okay. God, I could actually see somebody saying "go to hell" in a modern social media context, but I could also see that getting deleted. Even if it's not like real, it's a real enough vibe. But also this just reminds me that like, man, you gotta be careful about what the fuck you put systems on. Like I said, I saw a tweet earlier of somebody complaining about how like medical equipment shouldn't be based on Windows and they showed a picture of a fucking MRI machine blue screened, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's bad. That should not be how that is. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of real interesting to see like how that shakes out and stuff. It's funny because this is like a super big version of something I heard of a while ago. There was something called in the UK called CruiseGate, and you may think, oh, what's CruiseGate? What's that got to do with cruises? Nothing directly related to cruises, but apparently a lot of like mom and pop tabletop miniatures sellers, and I think even manufacturers, like third party manufacturers, apparently like all ran their 30 of these different stores and companies ran their computer store through a server like one guy was running cheap in his garage, right? Well, that guy goes on a cruise and the database critically fails and all their data was lost. And it's like, on the one hand, yes, I understand why they did this. Like, some people were like, why would you be running this off a server in some guy's garage? And people were, in like Reddit comments and stuff were coming back like, well, because it was probably a lot cheaper and friendlier than contracting out like, corporate, website storage space. Because, when you make the jump from normal man to business, that shit is expensive. But also it's one of those things of just like, yeah, you gotta like, you probably should have always have backups, chat. Double check your shit. Make sure you've got multiple access points to things. The bear is pretty cool. I like the fact that he's just a bear. Ugh. More. I mean, I think enough of them do it, but just in general, gacha games, feel free to be adventurous with your character designs. I remember you and Loth would always show me like real crazy character designs from like Destiny's Child.
Oh yeah,
where you're just like, this character's a Rubik's Cube, and then out of this Rubik's Cube comes a cute girl. Yeah, it's for reals. But yeah, like I said, so far I haven't seen any implications with the IT stuff personally. Like, I was playing Final Fantasy 14 earlier, I was playing FGO earlier, all that shit seems to work. YouTube's backend is fine, and stuff like that. But it's a big thing going on that people are going to probably be talking about for a while, which is pretty crazy, because like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But it's after midnight, everybody log in FGO, it's a new day.
New day, new story.
Yep, new story node, which means it's a great time to get on out of here so we can progress that. Keep your eyes peeled, like I said, for a more miniaturized Ibuki. While the Lady Avalon video was slightly longer than I thought it might be, I was thinking it would probably be around 10 minutes. It ended up being closer to 15 with some extras. But it was a lot easier to write that up in compact form and turn it around. So I'm hoping that Summer Ibuki and Summer Scotty will be similar. So look forward to those videos. Consider supporting us on Patreon so you can watch those early. You can get a little early access. Not like super early, but a little early. Pre-plan your good luck charm.
I think I'm gonna do like some others in the Discord and get boobs.
That's probably a good catalyst. But stay tuned to Let's Take FGO. Yeah, it took me a second to unpack that one, but it was booze.
Booze.
But
Lucky cannot get boobs.
I mean, you can very easily just type boobs into Google. The pictures will appear anyway. On that note, hey, tune in next week to see how Lucky's rolls go. Take that segue however you like. But, Lucky, anything else going on with you this week you want to bring up here at the close?
At the closer? Let's see.
Any anime you've jammed that you haven't already talked about?
Not really, no. I've been so busy playing fucking Zenless Zone Zero that I really haven't had time for shit. That and 14. A lot of 14.
So much 14. We fucking did Treasure Dungeons for like 4 hours, 5 hours?
It was a lot of maps.
But it was worth it, as I have almost 8 million gil right now.
So no, I have not been able to watch a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'll probably be able to get through it now that I'm not, like, wasting, like, well, I shouldn't say wasting. I'm not spending time on Triple Z. So, I'll probably be watching more stuff. Like I said, I'm probably gonna be playing more Snowbreak, and having my my FOMO going on here. Again, I'm really upset. I'm really sad. Like, I've actually talked about Axe with this. Axe is like this too. He really doesn't like it when he isn't there, day one of a game release, especially like a gacha game or a live service game, because you just miss out on stuff. And I actually found out something, in Snowbreak. They have messages, but they have something that's called favorites, which are usually like mail from like your girls and stuff. And even if you hadn't, if you weren't playing during the time, they still sent them to you, so you have this big backlog. And I found this, and I just found all these messages that, like, could have been sent to me, and I'm just like, my heart! I'm like, why you do this to me? You sons of bitches! Ugh. But, I do know, I might pick up some, PlayStation games, though, because, the new PlayStation games have dropped. Like, people are, rightly, I should say, super hype about Jeanne d'Arc, being released from the, PSP jail.
Yep.
Like, as they should, because Jeanne d'Arc is a great game. And I do know that Remnant 2 came out for free, too, and I want to give that a try. So I might be able to get in some solid PlayStation, some solid PlayStation time, but I'm still going to be playing a lot of 14, getting my Azure Lane, my Blue Archives, and my FGOs, and my Nikkeis on. God, that's like 4 gacha games. I'm playing 5 gacha games right now, I just realized. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Ugh. No wonder why I need them. No wonder I need them to be able to get through what I need quickly and move on. Shit. The Iron Blood does keep coming for Lucky. But no, I think that's it. That's it for me.
Alright. Then let's do the proper full outro. It goes a little something like this. Hey, if you're watching this video on YouTube, if you're watching this on video also, because the video version is only on YouTube, click the like button. Leave a comment. Join our Discord. Discord link in the video description and on our channel page. Ring the bell. Subscribe. I don't know why I decided to say that as 2 syllables. Anyway, sub for more. Got some wanteds coming out for you. We're trying smaller wanteds, and they seem to be doing well, so check them out. We got more live streams. We're back on Great Ace Attorney. Slid back in there. We got that going. And, obviously more Final Fantasy 14 all the times. Check them out. So make sure you're subbed. Make sure you ring the bell. Consider joining our channel memberships for access to membership badges and emotes, and also to have, green little names when we live stream. That's super cool. And also, I've mentioned it several times, but do consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get the audio version of this episode on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Sorry, the pause there was due to Existential Crisis talking about how long it's been since we played Grace's Attorney last. We don't want to think about that right now. Little $1 a month or approximately $10 a year because you get a slight discount on annual memberships. You can support us on Patreon, get audio early, get more of our actual plays. We didn't talk about Rain, but Rain is cool. Last episode I think was pretty well, though there was a little bit of info dump curve that I'm not sure everybody has quite processed. It's okay, I gotta set up stuff. It's fine, you got plenty of time to work on it. Next time you guys are going to deal with banditos. Burritos. I mean, figuring out accompanying actions is pretty straightforward. It's I think more about the timing of when you want to fire him. But You'll get them. So, yes, the rain APs and some other stuff is also in the audio only. At higher levels, you can get access to video releases and topic polls early and stuff like that. And at our higher 2 tiers, or big tiers, you can listen to us record Let's Talk FGO live every week, be part of the Patreon chat, the Peanut Gallery, as we say, or as I say at least. And you can do that all the time and get our air shoutouts and other stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We'll be back at you next week. Like I said, everybody, if you're watching this video, a specific comment, give Lucky your energy for the rolls. I don't need it. I'm good. I already got my crazy good shit. So, lock it in and you'll see how that goes in next week. So be sure to tune back in. We'll see you next time. It's going to be a good day, everybody. Have fun. I was going to say in the summer sun, but it's cold. Arctic-y. It's actually not that cold. Anyway, goodbye, everybody.